Hey guys, it's Michael Valentino from Crusader Caravans in Melbourne. Today I have the pleasure of walking you through a brand new product to the Crusader Caravans network. We have the Sanjo fridge. There is a bit of a Sanjo product floating around currently within the Crusader Caravans vans across the CRVs or across our Life Changer range. And some of this product coming in, although a little bit new to the industry, I think is a fresh view on product that people can utilize in free camp settings or caravan park settings, and really just taking the market share away from the main holders. Doesn't mean they're any better, doesn't mean they're any worse, but for the moment, as they make their stake in the caravan world, we're starting to see some really fairly priced, very effective and very efficient products. So that is a Sanjo product that Crusader are investing in and getting involved with. So awesome little fridge here. So this is a 170 litre Sanjo fridge. So the Sanjo fridge is absolutely awesome. So it's got wire shelving, it's got these little resistance clips that obviously keep these shelves locked in place. We have a crispy drawer down the bottom here that typically, you'd see, fruits, vegetables, all those sort of bits and pieces. We have, energy rating stuff. So we've got a freezer volume above at 58 litres, and we have a cold volume of the fridge at 113 litres. This is a 12 volt to 40 volt fridge, so it is a conventional compressor fridge, if you will. A little bit different as to how it operates. It operates off of 12 volt always, essentially. So unlike the conventional other brands of fridges that you'll see, it will switch over to a 240 volt setting. So the way this works is it has a power lead that is plugged underneath the fridge. So it's a power point like so, plugged into the power point just here. That's obviously mains powered, of course, so at a caravan park. On the display though, once we turn that on, you'll still see it's running on battery. So confuse us at the start a little bit, but after you read the book, it always helps. So we've gone through and the fridge will always run on 12 volts. So essentially it has a converter that goes from 240 volt to 12 volt that essentially switches the fridge over to 12 volt. It's still 12 volts. So essentially, if you've got no battery in the van, but you're plugged in a power, this thing's on 12 volt, and there's a battery icon, chances are you're working it from the power lead underneath the fridge. How to turn it on? Great question. We hold down the power button. We've got 4 distinct buttons here that we'll walk you through. Turns on. Cool. Battery icon. So again, you're not going to see anything there other than a battery icon. You've got a lock. On the other brands of fridges, you'll see obviously you can activate child lock. So this is a child lock, and it will disable change, if you will. Also a husband lock if you guys are sick of obviously hubby changing the temperature or not listening to the tutorial videos that you've patiently watched a guy in a lovely blue shirt talk about. It's got an awesome white light in here as it's on and activated, and freezer. Oop, I don't believe there's a light in here, but freezer, that's massive freezer. For 170 litres worth of usage, it's absolutely awesome. Everything I've read on this particular fridge tells me it has a run rate of about 6 amps in cooling, which is very effective, very efficient. The vans these are coming with varying battery capacity, but ideally you want, if you're free camping, obviously budget in keeping it cold, or every time you open the fridge doors, it's advised to try and keep the opening and closing down to a minimum to be able to actually maximize the efficiency of your battery system. So I'll walk through the controls. There really isn't too much to it. Obviously lock, we hold this down, it disables the whole use of the fridge. That's a child lock function. We have SM, which is like mode, and this here is like a silent. So I'll go through the modes. So everything as I understand it is we've got eco mode. So what's that going to do is it's going to change the temperature automatically, and it's going to lock in eco, and it's going to run at a more efficient rate. So if you're trying to conserve battery or you're there for a bit of time, you want to be able to make sure that you're not using too much. That's eco. Press it again. Everyone has debates. I'm assuming this is turbo. So turbo is, see how it went woof, all up? That is going to obviously pump in as hard as it can, as quickly as it can. We often see turbo on the Thetford, the Dometics. Turbo works a treat, does its while, and it's going to cool in the maximum method possible and the quickest method possible. We have cold. Now, as I understand it, the cold setting keeps the fridge cold. So it sounds a little bit odd to say, but we're cooling at the highest efficiency, we're cooling at the lowest efficiency. If the fridge is already cold, you just want to keep it at exact temperature and maintain what this is at, because obviously it doesn't give you temperature stats. None of the fridges do. It's just really cold or like not as cold. This will keep everything humming and working. And then auto, if you're not sure, you know, where you want to land temperature-wise, you can give it availability to change its fan settings, to change its cooling efficiency or how much it needs to cool, and that's going to allow you to be able to actually let the fridge sort of take over, and the PCB and the memory and all that actually work through and pick where and how it wants to land. Eco, yeah, obviously we've gone through the settings, so it changes that. Now, if you want to adjust the temperature, you press the S here, and that changes the temperature. The other function of the S is if you don't like hearing the beep, you hold the S down, and it goes to sleep mode, and then as we're changing settings, it's not going to actually make a sound. So from my understanding and from everything I've read on this fridge, the sleep mode does change the efficiency. Obviously, we can't adjust temperature anymore, but it changes and removes the beep. So I can't really see a use for this setting. I feel like most people wanting to use this want to hear that they're making those actions. It's like the vibration on your phone. You want to feel you're making those choices. So to get it out of the sleep mode, we just hold this down. Most people using these fridges, we just use auto. It's pretty easy, pretty efficient. If you don't like how loud the beep is, they built this little setting. You hold down the M, and then you can pick and choose as to beep 1, beep 2, or beep 3 as far as noise. So really the takeaway from this is it's got a few features that genuinely I don't think the general consumer is going to be using. So does the Dometic, so do all the others. But what we're going to do here, you have the on, the off, the child lock. If you have children, great. This is pretty elevated, this fridge. I really don't see them headbutting or touching this, so I wouldn't stress too much. Maybe for naughty husbands or something, they start playing with things or don't understand the temperature or think that they know better than the guy in the blue shirt. Hey, you know, I understand you wanting to put the child lock in on him and not, obviously because he hasn't watched the video, of course, not knowing how to take the child lock off, yeah, it's not too bad either. And then obviously if you want to change the mode, most people would leave it on auto. I've had a guy traveling around for 6 months straight with this particular fridge. Really no heartache at all. Awesome little fridge. Has this awesome feature. Hasn't been on for long enough to be able to show you, but one thing I've noticed with this, which is really cool, and probably is a credit to the development and change in these sort of products, is as the fridge shuts, as you shoot it back, right? A little bit not long enough. What happens is as it's actually cooled down to a temperature, and I believe when it hits that temperature, this little snowflake's going to disappear. So it's letting you know, hey, I'm where I want to be. When you shut this fridge door, it does this awesome little thing where it goes and like sucks the seals back, and it sounds as if it's pressurizing and actually trying to keep the air from escaping. So it uses like a sealing method, which is fantastic. I really like the idea of it. You can flip these doors around and stuff. You go through the manuals. Ventilation, this fridge doesn't require any ventilation on the rear cavity. It vents through the front. However, Crusader, upon my request, have put an access vent at the bottom. So that way, if you need to access, see, check on 12-volt wiring, anything like that, you still have that availability. So they've thought of everything. Crusader are obviously pioneering a new wave of product coming through. Dometic had to start somewhere. Thetford had to start somewhere. And before Ibis was the FJ7, it was some bloke in a garage just slapping things together. So we've got a full support of these guys. They're obviously putting product in that's a efficient and awesome quality product. You can tell they've spent that sort of time, money, and effort to spend the money on the wire shelving. The first Dometic, and still the same Dometics you buy today, are all plastic, or at least some of them are. So these guys are stepping on the forefront and going, where can we make advancements? What can we do? Sanjo, they've got my backing as far as the product's concerned. And the user friendliness of how much you don't have to touch this is very easy and effective for your camping. Less is more, keep it simple, this thing works a treat. If you'd like to find out more, please jump to our other videos in the MY 2025 Handover tutorial videos. We look forward to seeing you at the next Caravan show, popping into the dealership here at 1457 Sydney Road, Campbellfield, or alternatively, like and subscribe, head to our website, www.crusadercaravansmelbourne.com.au. We'll see you for the next one, guys. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next time you're after a Crusader.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out more from Crusader Caravans Melbourne. We have plenty of tutorial videos, product highlights, and walkthrough videos for your next new Crusader Caravan. Thanks so much. Hit subscribe, push the notification bell so you stay up to date with all of our latest content. Thanks so much and happy caravanning.